Looking at 2024, what we've done is break down the returns of where our performance came from and what caused any drag, if any. So a performance attribution effectively takes the returns and breaks it down from an allocation and a selection effect. An allocation effect effectively tells you how well you've done by allocating to a particular sector. A selection effect tells you how well you've done by selecting the companies within that sector. So, for example, one of our highest returns in 2024 came from healthcare. It came from us being overweight healthcare, which is what the allocation effect tells you, as well as having a very good handle from a bottom up perspective, from a selection effect perspective. Now, if you go down the pecking order and look at maybe an auto and auto comms, for people who have been on our call over the last 4 to 5 quarters, if you rewind back in September 23, our auto exposure was close to 23%. And since then, we've been steadily cutting down our auto exposure. As we speak in December 24, it stands at around 6%, predominantly with a focus on two-wheelers. So while we had a strong allocation effect in auto, the selection effect was negative, predominantly in us not being positioned in M&M. And also in the last quarter, Bajaj Auto had a drawdown between October and December that hurt the selection. So end of the day, not having a particular company which has done well in the index in your portfolio will also hurt your selection. One another important takeaway is FMCG, which was one of the worst performing sectors for 2024 on both an absolute and relative basis. However, for us, we still had both a strong allocation and selection effect through FMCG, predominantly because our selection predominantly came from names with a rural exposure. And that's what we continue to carry as we go into 2025. In terms of detractors, I've been speaking about being underweight banks for a good part of 2024, and we carry that position as we speak. Banks were the best performing sector between October and December 2024, and that's where the allocation effect is negative because we are underweight banks. Our weight is roughly at around 6% versus the index weight is almost 33%. And IT again, we are slightly underweight the benchmark, and IT did well in the last 6 months. We continue to have weights in IT, but we still would not be overweight IT considering where valuations are. And for those valuations, the growth that we are seeing doesn't seem commensurate for us to get overweight IT at this stage. One last theme that we carry forward into 2025, which is a counter-cyclical theme, is metals and minerals, which I will cover in due course. But this is a particular theme that is going to be a small part of the portfolio, up to 5 to 6%, which could play out in 2025 the way we see.